DeepSeek funding. When tech geeks embrace the capital game. According to the latest report from The Information, DeepSeek is AI meant to raise up to 50 billion yen, about 73.5 billion United States dollars, if finalized. This would break the record for the highest single round financing for a Chinese AI company, and the DeepSeek's valuation would reach a staggering 350 billion yuan, approximately 51.5 billion United States dollars. In mid-April, DeepSeek was reported to be seeking its first external funding round, targeting a valuation of at least $10 billion. Within less than a month, its expected valuation surged. The report stated that investors who had spoken with DeepSeek expressed concerns about its ability to maintain profitability and release models more quickly. Meanwhile, DeepSeek employees have been promoting its business model to businesses across various industries. On April 24th, DeepSeek V4 was officially released. Simultaneously, DeepSeek, which had maintained a no fundraising stance for the past 2 years, opened its fundraising window. Bloomberg and other media outlets, citing sources familiar with the matter, reported that Tencent had offered to acquire up to 20% of DeepSeek's shares, but Lang Wenfeng declined. In addition, Alibaba also attempted to get a piece of the pie. On the evening of May 8th, Whale Lab exclusively learned that Alibaba and DeepSeek broke down in negotiations due to their inability to reach an agreement on specific financing terms. One investor mentioned that financing terms were probably Ling's primary criterion when contacting investors. In 2023, this tech geek, who firmly believed that artificial intelligence will definitely change the world, said that DeepSeek's goal was to do research and exploration, not to do vertical categories or applications. This capability stems not only from the team's research and development and academic achievements, but also from the support of Lang Wenfeng's Magic Square quantitative research. In Lang Wenfeng's words, the advantage of self-sufficiency is that it allows him to maintain the independence of his original research aspirations. For a long time, he only appeared in the public eye by name, while he himself stayed behind the scenes, reading papers and writing code, devoted to research. Most people from the investment or modeling field were simply looking to invest in him, inquire about him, or even just have his contact information. Zhu Xiaohu, managing partner of GSR Ventures, whose attitude towards AGI was changed by DeepSeek, jokingly said that he had chatted with Lang Wenfeng in hopes of gaining recognition for DeepSeek's funding. An industry insider, who had spoken with Lang Wenfeng in person, described him as resembling an engineer from the 1990s. In the preface to The Man Who Conquered the Markets, the Simon's biography, Lang Wenfeng stated that, like many new technologies, quantitative investing was initially ridiculed. No one believed that computers could invest like humans. However, Simon astutely foresaw that with the development of computer technology, the impossible would one day become a reality. In Liang Wenfeng's view, this titan of quantitative investment is fortunate to have encountered a good era. At the end of his preface, he wrote, "Whenever I encounter difficulties in my work, I think of Simon's words, there must be a way to model prices." In December 2024, Liang Wenfeng shared this preface on his WeChat Moments, adding the caption, "3 years have passed, and it has fallen apart. A new era is arriving at lightning speed." More than a month later, on January 20th, 2025, he officially released the R1 inference model with DeepSeek. which has performance comparable to the full version of OpenAI, thus driving a revolution in the inference paradigm in the field of large models. A year ago, DeepSeek's key phrase was not considering commercialization. He insists on open source and hopes that most of the training results can be publicly shared so that it can be combined with commercialization. We hope that more people, even a small app, can use large models at low cost, instead of the technology being monopolized by only a few people and companies. DeepSeek has yet to disclose clear, large-scale commercial revenue. The image of the company from the outside world is also far less sophisticated than that of most large model companies globally. It doesn't emphasize KPIs, has no clocking-in culture, gives its research team of over 100 people as much freedom as possible, and most members leave the company around 7 p.m. This is neither a large company nor a startup. During the Spring Festival this year, Tencent's Hunyang team and Alibaba's Tianwan team were working overtime to meet deadlines. Lian Wenfeng said that it's difficult for a person to work at a high quality for more than 6 to 8 hours a day. Impulsive judgments made under the influence of overtime fatigue will waste valuable computing resources, resulting in more harm than good. DeepSeek's first foray into external funding is an unexpected yet logical development for the industry. The market interprets this as a response to soaring computing costs, requiring more funding to train models with larger parameter scales. Simultaneously, this funding will accelerate the company's revenue rollout and drive commercial profitability. In 2025, DeepSeek showed signs of some changes on the product side. DeepSeek started developing applications. On January 15, 2025, DeepSeek launched its mobile AI assistant app, DeepSeek. Furthermore, increased external funding allows DeepSeek to attract top talent with more competitive salaries, and the valuation also provides employees holding stock options with an opportunity to cash out. Over the past 6 months, several core members of DeepSeek have moved to major companies such as Xiaomi, Tencent, and ByteDance. However, the latest news indicates that Lian Wenfeng plans to participate in DeepSeek's first round of financing with a personal investment of up to 20 billion yuan, accounting for 40% of the total financing amount. As we mentioned in previous reports, besides the surge in computing power, demand, and rising R&D costs, DeepSeek's funding round may be preparation for an IPO. DeepSeek, which is flush with cash, is raising funds? Or is it planning an IPO? Some believe that the founders leading the investment may also be a move to maintain DeepSeek's control over the company. Following the release of V4, the industry has once again focused its expectations and attention on DeepSeek and Lian Wenfeng. The entire industry is eager to know which path DeepSeek will take when faced with multiple options such as commercialization, technological iteration, and user growth.